Hello, my paper peeps. Welcome to another wax seal card hack. Today I'm going to be showing you how to create these perfectly rounded wax seals that you can use in your scrapbooks, journals, and cards. Surprisingly, the tool I'll be using is found in every home, including yours. So join me as I show you exactly what that is and how to use it. So let's get crafting. Before we get started, I have to let you know that I adore and appreciate my crafting community. You are so encouraging and informative, and I want to do a shout out to Linda for the tip that I'm going to share with you today. Linda recommended using washers, and I'll show you which sizes and depths work for the stamp sizes that you might have at home. Now, there are two different pours. There's the traditional pour where you actually have this beautiful edge that showcases the wax seal, or you have the modern pour that doesn't have any edges. Now, I find you can only do the modern pour on a specific type of washer, but I'll get to that a little later on. So let's start. I'm going to be showcasing 5 different wax seal stamps. These stamps are the standard sizes that you would see on Amazon or any other wax seal stamp store. The largest size that I will be starting with is the 30mm wax seal stamp, and then the 25mm wax seal stamp, followed by the 20, the 15, and then the 12. Now you have to understand here, there are different types of washers out there, and they will all produce a different look. And so I will show you that coming up here. Now for the 30mm wax seal stamp, I'm going to be using these 2 washers. And you can see it fits perfectly within the washer. Maybe it has about a 1mm edge around it. It's not a tight seal around the wax seal stamp. And this is the size of the washer that I'm using with the 30mm wax seal stamp. Now, the one thing I want to show you is my first tip of the day. If you're going to make multiple wax seals, use an ice bath like this because it cools off the metal, which allows you to make multiple wax seal stamps because it cools off the wax really fast. So there's my first tip of the day. My second tip of the day is make sure you don't overheat your wax or else you're going to get bubbles. Once it's melted, then use it right away. If it starts to bubble, it has overheated and you'll want to probably take it off the heat and stir it a little to kind of cool it down a bit. So this first washer is 1/8 of an inch in width. And the second one is 1/16 of an inch in width. And my third tip, which is extremely important if you want to have this even edging around your wax seal, is don't push down on the wax. What you want to do is just hover the wax seal stamp just above the wax and then just let it drop into the wax. Don't put any pressure or else you're going to get this uneven distribution of wax. Here's my fourth tip. You don't have to buy different spoons. I bought a large one because I thought, I need it for if I'm going to use these larger wax seal stamps, and honestly, if you look at it, it's shallow. So it really actually holds the same amount of wax than that a standard size spoon would hold. If you want to know how to incorporate wax seals into your journals and scrapbooks, then watch these next few videos that I'll have links to at the end of this video. Now I'm going to show you these rubber washers, and I like the idea of a rubber washer because it's malleable, so it will just come off of the wax seal a lot easier. And as you can see here, you remove it, you've got this beautiful ridge around it, but what if you want a larger rim? That's where your dilemma is, because if you want a larger rim, you should over pour or make sure that you fill the space. The only problem is, as you can see here, it's overflowed over the edge of the rubber seal. Now, if you don't mind that overflow, then that's cool too. Then go ahead and use the wax seal. It's not a problem. So you have this thicker washer, the thinner washer, and then the rubber washer. My opinion, I like the middle one, the thinner washer. Reason being is that there isn't such a thick base to it, so you can put it in your scrapbooks, your journals, your cards, and especially if you're sending it in the mail, it'll actually go through the mail sorter and not be removed by the mail sorter. Whereas I've used this thicker one, and let's just say my girlfriends called me saying, "Where's my wax seal?" My friends always expect a wax seal on their cards, and when they don't get it, they're like, "Where did it go?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I think it got stuck in the mail sorter." So, but you're asking, why would I use a thicker wax seal? Well, if you're doing gifts, or maybe in your scrapbooks you want to put some greenery or feathers around the wax seal and just slip it under a little bit, then you have this lip that allows you to kind of layer around the wax seal. So that would be my only reason for using a thicker washer. The next pour I'm going to show you is with the 1-inch wax seal stamps, the 25mm one. And this one is actually the modern pour. So you want to find a washer that your wax seal stamp barely fits into. I'm talking the fit is quite tight so that you do not get an edge that comes up around the wax seal stamp. As you can see here, it barely fits. And that will give you that modern wax pour. Now please, if you are a wax seal enthusiast, please don't hate me for this. I'll be honest with you, I love the traditional pour. Most of my scrapbooks and journals are vintage in nature, and I love the traditional organic pour of just doing it freehand and then just allowing the wax seal to do its thing. I do, however, like to do perfectly rounded wax seals. Reason being is that if I have a modern card that I've made, I like to kind of add something more modern to it, like this one here that has no lip, or one that's perfectly rounded. The last thing I want to show you is your 15 and 12mm wax seals. I scoured the whole hardware store looking for washers that would accommodate these smaller wax seal stamps, and there's nothing metal. The only ones that would accommodate the smaller 15 and 12mm wax seals are the rubber washers. They are perfect. They do a great job. If you liked this video, make sure you stamp that like button so it can spread to the rest of our crafting community. There's one thing that a lot of people are saying with using washers is that there's this depth that they get with the base that they don't like. And if you find that that's not something you want, is that thick base, then I think you should watch this next video. It shows you a tool and a technique that will allow you to make the perfectly rounded wax seal without a heavy base like you see here. I hope you enjoy that video. Take care, and we'll see you soon. Bye.